When this generation started, I wasn't real sure what to expect from the Xbox Series X. Obviously, I wasn't originally even going to buy one day one. Then they made the announcement that, they were buying ZeniMax Studios, and it kind of snowballed from there. Very shortly after that, it wasn't very long, and they announced the Activision buyout. Now, of course, that's taken a couple of years to kind of accomplish, but at the same time, we still have a good idea of what Microsoft's future holds and what they want to do. The main thing that I've seen that was sort of making me scratch my head a little bit is the whole situation with Xbox Series X maybe not living up to expectations. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean living up to what we originally thought it was, the monster that eats monsters and things like that. We all kind of take that tagline and kind of, make fun of it or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, it's starting to come out now through Digital Foundry and some other places that developers just fully weren't taking advantage of what Microsoft had to offer, which is very frustrating to say the least. And now we have a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. So I talked about this the other day, Alan Wake in particular, Alan Wake 2. Xbox Series X is the best console version. They're using mesh shaders and things like that. Very complicated, and things like that. But here's the thing. They have the full RDNA 2 palette, which is why they're able to use the mesh shaders and things like that. Sony doesn't have that with the PlayStation 5. Could be why Sony decided to go with a PS5 Pro for next year, and Microsoft doesn't need to. Sony could be playing catch up with what Microsoft already has. Digital Foundry's technical verdict on Alan Wake 2 for the Xbox Series X and S is here, and it's good news all around. The Tech Focus outlet deems the Xbox Series X version the best console release, while Series S fares rather well for a less powerful machine too. To sum things up, Xbox Series X and PS5 are a match when it comes to raw resolution figures, but Series X is a much smoother affair in the frame rate department, and this is true of both cross quality and performance modes. And I quote, "In terms of resolution, Series X versions render at 1270p in quality with a 4K FreeSync R2 output resolution. In performance mode, we're looking at 847p resolution with an output of 1440p. This makes it a match for the PlayStation 5 version, which extends to a visual quality generally. Frame rates are where the two systems diverge. Series X, for its part, delivers a very smooth rendition of Alan Wake. In performance mode, it offers close to a locked 60 frames, with uncommon exceptions. We could drop a frame or two sometimes during traversal, and there are a few spots that cause momentary frame rate drops, but the game feels quite smooth in general play. Over on Series S, there's just one visual mode running at 30 FPS. Here's how Digital Foundry sums it up and how it stacks up to PS5. And I quote, "Internally, the Series S is operating around 720p. That's down from the 847 resolution in the Series X performance mode. Output resolution, though, remains at 1440p, as the two consoles exhibit very similar clarity and stills. And the rare snippet of UI that isn't anti-aliased comes in at 1440p pixel count. Performance-wise, the Series S manages a pretty stable 30 FPS, with an update that is a bit more consistent than PS5, but falls slightly short of the more powerful sibling. There are some occasional moments in tougher areas where the frames can drop, though it tends to be well behaved elsewhere. For a cut-price console, I think the Series S is delivering a perfectly fine update here, and the excellent motion blur and slower-paced gameplay render the lack of 60 frames per second option less than an issue than it would be in many other titles. So, in general then, the outlet believes that the Series X and S is turning in a fine rendition of Remedy's classic in Alan Wake 2. Again, this game has gotten tremendous scores across the board. I haven't had a chance to sit down and play it yet, but I do have it, and I'm going to probably dive into it this weekend. But what's very interesting here is you see that a developer is taking full advantage of what the Series X and S can do, and it's kind of smoking the PS5. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, I'm just being honest. If the Series S is performing better than the PS5, isn't that a little bit of a problem? I mean, we're starting to see that this is starting to come around. Could you imagine where we could be at in this generation if we would have been in a situation where the PlayStation 5, where the Xbox Series X and S got full used, the shaders and all that kind of stuff? Could you imagine? I mean, I think it would have been incredible. Like, where would we be at right now? Yeah? I think it's pretty awesome to think, and then also pretty kind of shitty to think about the fact that, hey, that would have been nice, that would have been cool, but at the end of the day, a lot of developers don't seem to really care to make the Xbox, you know, so it's kind of crazy. So, again, I think that this is just one of those things that, we can kind of wish in one hand and kind of shit in the other, see which one piles up faster. But, at the same time, I still look at what Microsoft is doing, and I feel like they're doing a lot better. They're putting out the better products. They're doing the better things. And then you see what's kind of going on behind the scenes with PlayStation right now. And like for me personally, I'm kind of scratching my head going, it's a little bit weird because PlayStation has had so much going for itself, and they should have stuck to their plan, I guess, a little bit better in my opinion, but they chose not to. And so when you look at this, and I'm sitting there kind of looking at this, and I'm going, Microsoft has come such a long way in such a short amount of time. If they could have got a fair deal from everything that was going on, I would absolutely love that. It would have been absolutely fantastic to see them get kind of a fair deal out of this whole situation, because they never get that. They always are the ones that kind of get, I would say, kind of get crapped on or whatever. But for me personally, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what Microsoft will be able to do in the future. And I'm looking forward to kind of seeing how, these games and everything will stack up with developers taking full advantage of the Xbox Series X. I knew it was a better console. Did I think that it was, something that would be like 40 to 50% better? No, but it was definitely, if developers would have fully taken advantage of it, I think that we could have saw plenty of games that really kind of showcased Xbox and made people possibly even switch to Xbox, or because it does have a lot going for it when you think about it. So I hope that we see some of these things happen in the future where they do take full advantage of it, and I hope that we continue to see some amazing things in the future, because that's just what I want to see. I want to see Microsoft continue to push boundaries and all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, I want to take a minute to say thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, or excuse me, if you enjoy the videos, please leave a like. I'm Crap Gamer. This has been Crap Gamer Reviews. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'm very appreciative of everything. So I hope you guys continue to support the channel and understand that it's ever growing, I guess, or maybe not growing, but ever changing. I'm trying to kind of resolve some things and make things better for everybody, but it really kind of comes down to I need to see what happens. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you guys for rocking out with me. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.